Hello! Tonight on Cult Night we're going to be discussing something called the Healthy, Happy, Holy Organization. It was started by an individual called Harbhajan Singh Kala, also known as Yogi Bhajan, who was a spiritual leader and entrepreneur. It's interesting how often those two go together now, isn't it? He left India for Canada in 1968, and in 1969 he started this lovely little organization. He claimed that he left India, incidentally, to avoid Soviet psychic experiments. Ooh, so we get to have a little bit of mystic New Age mumbo-jumbo along with our cult today. I'm not actually going to spend too much time dealing with this cult. Now, as I said, it was formed in 1969. By 1972, there was about 100 ashrams around the place. This particular group promotes something called Kundalini Yoga. Oh, Whitebeard here is the asshole that brought it to here. Most of the 100 ashrams were in the U.S. Now, well, this guy in his group may have done some good. The problem is he's also pretty well the source of this Kundalini crap, which we're going to be going into detail, because frankly, it's the bane of my existence as much as these assholes are the bane of my existence. These little psychiatry assholes that I had to deal with when I was going after Scientology. When I had been dealing with my industry of death. Actually, let's get the cult shit out of here. Let's just, fuck the rest of Cult Night. It's time for me to rage a little bit here. Fuck you, Yogi. Go and play with Boo Boo. Psychetruth is the bane of my fucking existence. Now, through Scientology, there's this group called the Citizens Commission of Human Rights. And they produced this thing called Psychiatry, Industry of Death. It was a full-length movie presentation. And these douchebags promote it, along with Tom Saz and some others that I have some real fucking disagreements with. But the problem is, these psychiatry schmucks sit there and will try and promote all kinds of alternative medicines and try to do all this crap, trying to tear down psychiatry and all this because psychiatry is oh so evil. So instead they offer alternatives, and one guy they've been promoting is this douchebag that goes around claiming that Kundalini Yoga will cure bipolar.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Oh, let's go after this shit. Let's go after these fucking hucksters.
Psychetruth. Life. Wisdom.
And all the other shitheads that go along with them.
The Kundalini movement is of tremendous importance for the future of the human race.
Let's mix the power of Wu and Cult Night.
This knowledge is the same perennial wisdom attributed to Jesus, Moses, Mohammed, Krishna, Buddha, and a score of others.
And psych out all in one fucking video.
Mystics and sometimes just normal people have detected this energy through deep meditation or going into non-ordinary states of consciousness.
Let's go all series. Balls to the wall. Fuck this shit. And we may or may not have a discussion group. We'll find out. On to the fucking presentation.
I'm Psychiatry correspondent Karina Rachel. Thank you for tuning in to The Truth Talks.
Hello, Karina. I'm familiar with the kind of truth that you have on your channel. This will be definitely necessary. Go ahead.
I'm joined today by Sean Blackwell, founder of the channel Bipolar or Waking Up.
Bipolar or Waking Up? I suspect this hat may not be enough for this one.
It's pretty obvious that what most of us have been going through seems a lot more like something you might read about in the Old Testament, where God comes to Abraham, Moses, or even Noah with a special message or mission.
Yeah. Okay, this is when bullshit wannabe psychology meets woo.
Yes, this so-called mental illness of ours sure has a strong spiritual side. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I need something a little bit sturdier than this.
Today we're going to talk about Kundalini and its relationship to bipolar disorder. What is Kundalini? I guess that's where we need to start.
There is this new, brought from India. I wish they would keep it to themselves. Brought from India about the Kundalini. Probably many of you have heard this. If you haven't, forget it. But if you have, those people who write about it, forgive, please, I'm saying this most respectfully, those who talk about do not know anything about it.
In Hinduism, specifically the mystics of Hinduism,
but most of the people, as far as I've discussed with them, who have gone into this matter very deeply, they're always quoting somebody else.
at the base of the spine, in the coccyx area, okay, some people think in the bone of the coccyx is a base of dormant energy, almost like a nuclear power plant.
They talk about it. They feel certain experience, and which they call by this name. I've discussed with them very seriously. And what they are talking about is a certain form of increasing energy to do more mischief. I mean that. By eating right food, by control, by breathing properly, etc., 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 you have more energy naturally. And that gives you a sense of superiority in your enlightenment and so on.
Sort of Kundalini awakening is a sense of hot Kundalini energy which is running up the back of the spine into the head and then sort of exploding in the seventh chakra area. And the idea is that when that energy opens up and sort of goes through your body, that you have this illumination, or samadhi they call it, maybe a connection with nirvana, okay? So that would be the Kundalini awakening.
And none of them, please believe me, none of them have awakened this thing.
Right? Mm-hmm. In classic Hindu mysticism, that process can be quite smooth, and if it's done with a master, it can unfold quite easily.
Sirs, you can do this kind of yoga exercise for the rest of your life. You won't awaken spiritual insight. Nor will the awakening of a higher energy come into being.
Gotta say, hats off to the real mystics. On the other hand.
Back to the original mischief maker.
All right. But with Gopi Krishna and people who have had Kundalini experiences after, where, you know, we're talking about people who are meditating for very long periods of time, like perhaps 20 years of meditating every day. They have found that a lot of sort of difficulties would come up. Possible psychosis would come up, having delusions and feeling like you're entering insanity, you know, and Gopi Krishna had these sensations himself, okay? So what we see is that when there is a Kundalini awakening, often there are difficulties related to being afraid of what's going on with you, and especially pain or sensations of burning as the Kundalini energy moves through your body.
I don't know about you, but to me this doesn't sound like a spiritual awakening. Sounds like nerve damage. But what nerve could it be?
There has been, you know, for a millennium, a recognition that there's a bioenergy system in our bodies. Now, science has never found this energy. It can't be measured by the science that we have now, but mystics and sometimes just normal people have detected this energy.
My lab and some other labs have become obsessed with this fascinating part of your body called the vagus nerve.
This spiritual energy and system have not been discovered by science yet, and perhaps they never will.
Vagus is Latin for wandering, and the vagus nerve starts at the top of your spinal cord. And just think about a couple of things. It's unique to mammals, right? It is interconnected, some studies suggest, with oxytocin networks, which we're about to talk about. Recent studies suggest the vagus nerve is also related to a stronger immune system response. And very recent evidence in the last year or two suggests that the vagus nerve, as it wanders through the body, regulates your inflammation response to disease.
At the base of the spine, in the coccyx area, sits a sort of secret nuclear power plant to the entire chakra system. It's here that the core of the Kundalini energy sits quietly in a dormant state, waiting for the opportunity to awaken like a coiled snake. And that's where the word Kundalini comes from. It is Indian Sanskrit for coiled.
This is one of the great mind-body nexuses in the human nervous system. The vagus nerve wanders through your body, starts right up here on the top of your spinal cord. It goes to muscles in your neck that help you nod your head and orient your gaze towards other people and vocalize. It then goes down and drops down and helps coordinate the interaction between your breathing and your heart rate.
In classic Hindu yoga, the Kundalini awakening most often happens when a person enters into a deep state of meditation, often with the intention of activating this energy through a specific blend of breathing and concentration techniques.
Every time you take a deep breath, right, your heart rate slows down. It's like baseball pitchers, 3 and 2 count. You don't see them go, right, they breathe out to calm down. The vagus nerve controls that relationship between those two patterns. Then it drops down into the spleen and liver and controls a lot of digestive processes. There used to be certain surgeries for digestive disorders that would sever the vagus nerve because it regulates digestive process. It's this amazing bundle of nerves, and given that it helps you communicate, it helps you empathize by orienting gaze, because it's connected up to oxytocin receptors, and because it's mammalian. A fellow named Steve Porges said, this is the love nerve in your body.
Once the Kundalini, or coiled snake, is awakened, the energy is said to rise out of the coccyx and up inside or alongside the spine, through each chakra until it reaches the top of the head. There it integrates with the entire chakra system, producing profound mystical experiences.
So, Captain Douchebag, I've got a question for you. Since science apparently can find out what's behind this and you guys are too busy going with the woo crap, what are the symptoms of damaging this vagus nerve?
It seems that the Kundalini awakening experience is simultaneously 1. A purificatory process, 2. A process of healing deep unconscious material, and 3. A transmutative process into a higher, qualitatively new level of consciousness. If you've been following my work, you'll notice that I've focused a lot on these points as related to bipolar disorder, as it's become obvious to me that the hidden purpose of bipolar disorder is exactly what Sinella has written here regarding Kundalini.
Hey, fuckstick, are you going to make me put the hat back on? Come on, symptoms, please. Just in case. Better be prepared for more stupidity.
Here are just some of the symptoms listed on Wikipedia related to Kundalini syndrome. Mood swings with periods of depression or mania. Bliss, feelings of infinite love and connectivity. Transcendent awareness. Feelings of energy or electricity circulating the body. Sensitivity to light, sound, and touch. Insomnia. The surfacing of unwanted, repressed feelings or thoughts in the conscious mind.
And 4 out of the 7 have nothing to fucking do with bipolar. Come on, physical symptoms. Come on.
Take a look. Intense heat or cold experienced as energy. Involuntary jerks, tremors, shaking, itching, and tingling sensations, especially in the arms and legs. Increased blood pressure and irregular heartbeat. Headaches, migraines, or pressure inside the skull. Pains in different areas of the body, especially the back and neck.
Well, it sounds like nerve damage to me, but what do you think?
All of these symptoms are related to that Kundalini Cobra's attempt at breaking through the energy blocks in your chakra system.
And so-called psychiatry buys into this shit. They're endorsing this crap.
Certainly.
Okay, psychiatry seems to have no problem endorsing this as long as it goes against psychiatry.
A Kundalini awakening is not just one type of bipolar disorder, but that Kundalini is at the root. I would strongly guess that Kundalini is at the root of all the mental disorders related to bipolar disorder, the hypomania, and even the depression.
You can't possibly fucking believe this. You fucking can't. This is just so fucking inane.
So, in answer to all your questions, yes, I firmly believe that the origins of bipolar disorder are rooted in our Kundalini, our spiritual energy.
Uh-oh. Well, it looks like we've had some, technical issues. Yeah, I guess that's it for, Cult Night tonight. I think there will be a hangout later tonight. It's gonna be kind of late, though. The boss isn't looking that good. Oh well, see you later.